Hey, scrapbook friends, it's Nicole from Nicole's Scrapbooks, and welcome to the September edition of the Savvy Scrapbookers. This month we are featuring the Autumn Cottage collection from Creative Memories. We're using the designer paper and the stickers this time. If you're not familiar with the Savvy Scrapbookers, each month my good friends Debbie Martin, Donna Guest, and I divide up a paper pack from Creative Memories and either the stickers or the embellishments, and then we each create a double page layout using just the parts that we chose. So if you were to follow all three of our videos and recreate what we've made, you will have 6 pages or 3 double page layouts using just the one pack of paper and stickers without any, like, we don't duplicate products, so that you will have, you'll be able to make all of these without having to buy an additional pack. And we try to have very little waste, although sometimes this time I had a little bit more waste than I usually like to do. So this is a layout we're going to make. Many of you know that I live in Alabama and we don't really have fall here. So this was a hard one for me, but I put out a plea to my siblings, and my sister sent me some pictures of her cute kids from several years ago when they did get to experience fall and have some of that fall color. So that's kind of the inspiration, the photos that I used on my layout, but we're going to recreate it. And of course you could put your own photos on there. So the papers that I chose this time I actually chose these two, which are the trees. This is what I thought I was going to use, and I'll show you how it looks with these. But I ended up using the back, which is this yellow kind of sweater paper. And then I chose this one with the leaves, because I really like the leaves. And then the back is this kind of washed, it's almost like a plaster. I don't know how to describe it, but it's very textural, kind of the orange. And then I chose the green squares. The back of this one is little apples. So if you had like an apple orchard or something, apple picking, this would be really cute here in place of the leaves. But I didn't have that. I just had leaves. So those are the papers that we're going to be using. And I'm going to turn my work lights on. I turned them off so you wouldn't have glare on the photos. But I'm going to turn the work lights on and get this out of the way, and then we'll get started. So this one is actually kind of a simpler layout for me, so hopefully my video won't be the longest one. We're going to go ahead and set aside the 2 yellow sweater / tree pages, and then we're going to cut the other 2 papers. I'm going to start with the green because it's the easiest cut. And basically this one, you have 2 choices. We're just going to cut it in half. We need 2 10 by 6 inch pieces. So when I did my sample, I cut it in half at 6 inches and then trimmed it down to 10. But you could also trim off this 2 inches and end up with the 10. So let's do that just so we have a little bit left over. This side is not directional, but this side is. And I think if I were to have extra, I'd want it to be that piece. So I'm going to cut this way. I'm going to cut it at 10 inches. Put my foot out. All right, cut at 10 inches. And then this is going to be a scrap. So I tried to find a way to use it. It just didn't work. And then this piece we're going to turn and cut at 6 inches. Okay. So here is this paper number 1. 10 by 6, 10 by 6. And this one either is going to be 2 6 by 2s or 1 12 by 2. All right. And then the next paper is the autumn leaves, and we're going to cut it into some stripes. And I don't know that this paper is directional. It's kind of directional. I feel like it's a little bit directional, like with these pointing down, but I think you could do it anyway. But I chose to do it this way. Oh, actually, I don't know which way I did it. But we want to cut 2 12 by 2 3/4 inch strips. So 2 3/4 is just a 1/4 inch smaller than 3, because the other piece we want to have left is 6 1/2, so we can have some photo mats. So these are our 2 12 by 2 3/4 inch strips. And then this piece, we're going to turn it 90 degrees, cut it, it's 6 1/2 inches wide now, and we're going to cut it at 4 1/2 and 4 1/2. Now you're left with this piece that is 3 inches by 6 1/2. And so I did cut this into 2 3 by 3 pieces. I didn't end up using them with the photos that I had, but I'm going to show you ways that I feel like you could use them. Okay, so that's all the cutting we're going to do with the trimmer, but we are going to cut the banner edges of these strips. And to do that, we're going to use our trusty CM scissors. And I don't want these to be the full width of the paper. I want them to come in a little bit. So what you want to do is you want to take your paper and fold it, and about on the open side, about an inch down, I want you to take your paper. Usually we cut from the corner and go in. I just want to go down from that corner. Again, we're cutting from the open side, and you're just going to cut about a little 45-degree angle, okay? And then if you're not comfortable like making that same cut again, you can just take this paper that you, actually we'll do it the other way so you can see it. Take this little scrap that you cut off the first paper. It's folded in half. And then you can use that as your pattern so that you cut your angle the same. Okay, and that way you'll have these two pieces that have the little banners, and then we have these that are photo mats. We're going to use the reverse side. These that could be photo mats, could be journal boxes, also the reverse side. And then this is our scrap, and of course these two little pieces that I cut off could be a scrap, or are a scrap, unless you can think of some fun way to use them. All right, so I'm putting these away. Hopefully you had a chance to see, maybe take a screenshot of the cutting guides. All right, and then we're going to pull out our base papers. And so this is where I'm going to show you what it looked like. I really did kind of like it with this, but it was crazy, crazy busy. So I'm going to not use the apple side, although like I said, if you'd been doing apple picking, you might have wanted to use this for the banners, or you could do something like this. But I think you're not going to want to do that. So we're going to use the green side, and then these two banners on top. So it's a lot, but if you love the leaves, you could do it this way. I felt like even for me, this was too much. If you wanted to substitute maybe cardstock for this one instead, I didn't feel like this worked. It was too same, it blended in. So we're gonna use the yellow side, which I love yellow. Yellow is one of my favorite colors, so that was perfectly fine with me to use the yellow side. Okay, so this bottom piece goes about a 1/2 inch-ish from the bottom. And then these sit right on top of it. And then these mats are 6.5 by 4.5. And so on my sample layout, I used all 4x6 photos. And so one of them is going to go down here. But what I did, because this is only 6 inches wide, this one goes above, like a 1/4 inch above and below. And it gives a cool effect with your photo, I think. And then this one comes up here. And if you haven't seen these little photo placement cards, this is a new thing from CM. They come in a little pad. They have a bunch of sizes. I haven't used all the sizes yet because I've been using just 4x6 photos. But this is a fun way if you make layouts ahead and want some way to help you keep track of what size the photo is supposed to be later. So we're going to use these little photo placement guides. So this is going to be a 4x6 photo. This is going to be a 4x6 photo. This is going to be a 6x4 photo. And then we've got two more 4x6. And one 6x4. So before you stick any of these down, you kind of want to play with this. I really liked the way putting this on here, the edge of this green paper lines up with the edge of the photo. But because of that, this one, I didn't want this photo to be exactly the same. So instead I lined it up with the top of this, which gave me that 1/4 inch mat right here. Okay. So, and then this one also, I wanted to have that 1/4 inch mat kind of around my photo. And I'll pull out the one with real pictures on it again at the end so you can see this. And then position this one. And this one, it doesn't really matter so much. But I still lined up the bottom of the photo with the bottom of the mat. And I think that looked really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and stick all this down. And like I say, just kind of position it first so that you make sure that you have the right spacing for those photos, which are just a little tricky. Okay, we're going to put the green pieces down first. And actually make sure to put these up next to each other. That way I know that my my design will line up across both layouts. I'm curious if anybody ever makes these layouts and then doesn't actually use both sides of it. I know there are people that prefer single page layouts, and so, you know, you could absolutely take this and do it as a single page layout. All right, so then we're going to put the leaves here. And the leaves here. And I'm using permanent adhesive because that's what I like. But when I stick these little photo placeholders down, I'm going to use repositionable so I can remove them later. Okay. And so let's start with this one, because this is the one that has the positioning that we're going to kind of base the other pieces around. So because this was 4.5 by 6.5, I've got that nice 1/4 inch border. And so when I put my photo on here, I am lining up the edge of my photo with the edge of the green, kind of just to give it that visual, that line that goes across. And I'll pick it up in a minute and show you. And then we've got another 4 by 6 that's going to go here. So we're lining it up with the top of this. One of the things that I learned when I was actually on the high school yearbook staff is how much your eye likes to have some lines that line up with each other. It makes it more visually pleasing if your lines have some purpose when you do that. So that's why this one I'm also lining up this line here. And then that's going to give that, that 1/4 inch space in here. And then we'll do this one on the bottom, the 6 by 4, and it's kind of lining up with that one. And then the matte, oh, I want regular. Probably doesn't matter. I mean, I know that the repositionable does get much more sticky over time, but it doesn't ever get permanent. I don't know like what the legal definition of permanent is, if there is such a thing. But I like my, oh, these are temporary. I like my permanent adhesive for things that I want to stick on there permanently. Okay, and so that's basically the layout right there. Super quick and easy. And then we're just gonna embellish a little bit with our stickers. At this point, you could, if you wanted to, if you had a smaller picture, well, let's see if we have a 2.5. Nope, 3 by 3 is the smallest these come to. But if you had, you know, like a 2.5 inch photo that you wanted to add in, I mean, you could easily add in these little photos before you do your embellishments. You know, you've got this little photo mat. You could absolutely do something with that. But I didn't have that for mine, and so I didn't use these, but they would also make a good little journal box. So the stickers that I had, I chose this border sticker that just says thankful, grateful, blessed, thankful, grateful, blessed. There's only one of them. And so that was a little bit hard for me because I, of course, wanted, you know, to go across 2 layouts. But we also then have these words, thankful, grateful, and comfy, which is not thankful, grateful, blessed. So we're going to use thankful and grateful. But what I want to do is kind of break up the sticker and give some interest rather than just have these words like going across the layout. So if you look at my sample, you can see here where I took this border and I cut it. And I didn't really cut it exactly in half. I did thankful, grateful, blessed, and then where it said thankful again, I cut it in half, and then I did grateful, blessed, thankful, grateful, blessed. So we're going to go to thankful, grateful, blessed, thankful, grateful, blessed, thankful, grateful, blessed. So it was a little bit like 2/3 of the way, and I'm just going to cut right here on that where that little dot is. And I didn't want it to have it be exactly same. But this one I'm going to cut the word thankful, grateful, blessed. The second thankful, I'm going to cut that right in half. Bam. And then on the other one, we're going to do the same thing with grateful. So it's thankful, grateful, blessed, thankful, grateful, blessed, thankful. And I'm going to cut that grateful right in half. I know, it was hard for me too. Okay. I'll move these out of the way and show you what we're going to do. Okay, so now I'm going to take that first thankful, grateful, blessed, and I'm going to put it in a little bit, about a ½ inch down. Try and get it straight, right about there. And then I'm going to take the thankful and I'm going to put some foam squares or some foam tape on the back. You have your choice. I do sometimes really like the foam tape, especially for something like this. It's really skinny. So it's too skinny for the foam tape, but this foam tape is easy to cut in half. So I'm going to take my foam tape and let me zoom down. Okay, so here's my thankful. I'm going to take my foam tape and I'm just going to kind of measure it out just with my eyes to be about the same length as the word thankful. And then I'm going to take my microchip scissors and I'm going to cut this in half. I still got the peel off piece right here. But these microchip scissors have a little Teflon coating. I'm going to cut from the other side too. And it just makes it nice to cut on sticky things. So one of them we're going to set aside for the grateful. And this one I'm just going to take it and put it down the middle of my thankful word. Oops, sorry. I do that all the time. I'm sorry, you guys, when I zoom down. All right, so now I've got the thankful on here. And what I want to do is cover up where it says thankful right there and then put the other piece down. So I'm going to leave it upside down for now. I shouldn't have peeled off the other piece. And then I'll take this last piece. And where I cut this off on the end, I'm going to take my microchip scissors and just kind of round the end a little bit so that it looks more like the original edge. And then this thankful, I want to cover up the words. I want to cover up the word thankful. And so this is going to go right about there. Okay, and then when I stick this down, it's going to cover those words. Actually, that one's a little, oh no, that's good right there. Thankful, grateful, blessed, thankful, grateful, blessed, thankful, grateful, blessed. See, so I think that looked nice. It's a little close to the top, and the foam tape is not quite as forgiving as regular tape runner or repositionable. Actually, I don't know if those line up. Let's line that up better. I want it to be. So I'm just using this as kind of my guide so that I cover up the words. Down a little bit. And I think this just gave it a little bit of interest for this otherwise kind of repetitive border sticker. There we go. All right, thankful, grateful, blessed, thankful, grateful, blessed. Okay, now I'm going to zoom back out. We're going to do do the same thing with the grateful side. So I have these two pieces, but I want, again, to come from the outside so I get the positioning right. I guess not again, but last time I did start from the outside. And this one's actually going to go a little bit more over onto that green, but I want to give it a little border. And then I'm going to take the grateful, and I'm going to take this piece of foam tape that I already cut. Let's see if it fits. It's a little bit too long, so we'll just trim off this little piece. All right. And I didn't peel off the backing this time, so I can just set it right here to help me position this other piece, which again, I'm going to take this little section and just clean it up a little bit. Just make it look a little bit rounded so it doesn't obviously look like I cut it in half. So I want to cover up the word grateful. Not all, I mean, I want to make sure I can see all the other two words. There we go, there. Thankful, grateful, blessed. And now I can peel that off and stick this guy down. Okay, so now this one says thankful, grateful, blessed, thankful, grateful, blessed, thankful. Okay, and I think that turned out really cute just to make it a little bit interesting in a way to use that one single border strip across two layouts. I think this would be fun for like a Thanksgiving page, but I didn't have Thanksgiving pictures either, so I just took what my sisters had to share with me. And now we're just going to embellish with a few other stickers, and basically mostly what I used were the trees. Because I had this layout, you know, the pictures with the trees, I thought this worked really well. So I took the red one and I lined it up with the bottom of this green square right here. And on mine, it does kind of overlap onto my photo, but since this is just a placeholder, I don't want to do that yet. And then we're going to take the orange one and we're going to use some more of this foam tape, or foam, we'll use foam squares actually. Either one can work. Either one you can cut in half, however you need to. This is a pretty big sticker, so I'm going to use a couple of the big ones. I like a lot of foam tape so that my, you know, my things don't get squished when I close them down in my scrapbook. All right, and then this one I'm going to position along the bottom of the paper so that it looks like there's a little bit of perspective, right? So you have these two trees just kind of up against each other. And then on the other side, we're going to take the last tree, which is this yellow tree. It's the tallest of the trees. And I'm going to put it kind of centered about a half inch in, kind of centered in this green section, and just straight on the ground for this side because we have the foam tape right here. And then I took the little blanket with the thermos, which was kind of the cozy, and I just put that over the top right there. It's kind of under the tree. Okay. Actually, I'm looking at my original and I put this up a bit. Apparently I wasn't paying close enough attention as I was putting the other together. You can put this where you want. All right, so you can decide which one you like better. I got to be truthful. I like this one better, and where it kind of overlaps. So maybe I'll move these down a little bit, and hopefully they haven't been on long enough to pick up my. They pick up a little of the color, so maybe. Yeah, see, that's what happens once you put your stickers on. I guess we're leaving the stickers right where they are. And then this again is the part where you could take one of these papers and, you know, use it for some journaling, maybe cut it, or you could journal right on this. I think I would probably just journal on this green. I did not because it's my sister's. They're my sister's photos, and I promised her I would just give her the layout so she can journal where she wants. Here we have our finished layout from Autumn Cottage. With just the placeholder photos. So this is what yours might look like if you don't have photos yet. But then here's the version that has the photos. And I just think fall pictures are so vibrant and so beautiful that it makes all the difference. So sometimes if maybe you have a layout and you think, oh, I've made this pre-made layout, I don't love it. Try putting some pictures against it and see if you don't like it a little bit better. This is a layout I really feel like you could do with another collection and it would still work. It's super simple just with the smaller squares and the banners, and then a border sticker cut in half, I think would be really cute. I'd love to hear what collections you decide to try this with besides Autumn Cottage. Now, when you finish watching my video, I hope that you will hop on over and watch Donna's and then Debbie's, or Debbie's and Donna's, or however you want to do it, And when you're done, if you choose to copy all of these layouts, you'll have those 6 completed pages, 3 double-page spreads using the beautiful Autumn Cottage collection ready for your photos. We'll be back next month on the second Wednesday with another edition of the Savvy Scrapbookers. I will be back tomorrow with another episode of Theme Park Thursday. I think it's episode 48 that we're at Theme Park Thursday, where I'm chronicling a Disney World trip that I took with my adult daughters in March of 2022, and I'm doing 1 layout a week in that. So Savvy Scrapbookers is Autumn Cottage. Hop on over and check out the other 2 videos. The links will be in the description of this video, and I will see you again very soon here on my channel.